up and always wear your helmets. Stay safe. We'll see you again next weekend on the Other End Show.
Every one of us are looking for a soulmate who will nourish our lives. Let me share with you a secret wisdom. If you want to find the right person in your life, and if you want to keep that relationship, awaken to a state of love first. If you awaken to a state of love, then you become an individual capable of finding the right person as well as keeping that wonderful person in your life. Hello and welcome to the Power of the Beautiful State with Deepa Ji and Krishna Ji. Today we're going to be discussing love and relationships. And part of that discussion is really going to focus on what is love, how do we define it, as well as how do we nurture love, and why it is important for us to be aware of ourselves when we want to love someone else. Of course, we cannot have this conversation without also addressing conflict when it comes to relationships. So without more delay, let's in fact get into this conversation with Deepa Ji as well as Krishna Ji on love and relationships. Deepa Ji, I want you to define what you think love is, especially in the context of relationships in this day and age. In this day and age, what love is, it's probably very much misunderstood. But to understand what love is, and if you have to articulate it in words, because love is a very beautiful experience. It is an experience of the heart, and if you have to articulate it in words, love can be seen as compassion. Yes, it can be seen as, when we talk about compassion, knowing very clearly, understanding very clearly, as a human experience, we are not different. My experience of pain and the other's experience of pain is just the same. Love is an experience of compassion. Love is an experience of sensitivity, where you're able to feel what the other person is feeling, where you're able to experience what the other person is feeling, not understanding, not as knowledge, but actually we as a human have this ability to experience and feel what the other person is feeling. That is an experience of love. Love is gratitude that you are a result of innumerable efforts of so many people's love and support. That is what has made you as a person. It could be love and support of people whom you may know or people whom you may never know. And love is inclusivity, that knowing very clearly that your well-being is not separate from the well-being of the others. All of what you've said really sort of defines this whole concept of valuing love in a sense. So the whole idea of valuing relationships, empathy, all of this comes under love. But I want to specifically focus on the relationships that you see when you see romantic relationships. And there, once again, I would love to hear your definition of love, because there's a whole dimension of perhaps expectations that come into the play. And I wonder from your vantage point, where do you think expectations should play a role when it comes to the kind of relationships between two lovers? How does all that work? I've always shared this story, the Frog Prince. I'm sure you're aware of it, where the kiss of the princess removes the curse of a frog and turns the frog into a beautiful prince. But the sad part of our lives is we find probably a beautiful princess or a handsome prince, but over a period of time, this beautiful princess or the handsome prince turns to be a disgusting frog. It's because we always blame the other for this. That if alone the other was a little more romantic, a little more caring, a little more loving, a little more joyful, then things would be different. But we bring a students of the academy bring attention to oneself, because it is important to nurture a state of love in oneself. If you are a person who's not capable of bringing love and nourishing love in one's consciousness, you can find the most beautiful person in your life, but you would get bored. And then you would start moving into a state of blame. Then you would feel your expectations are not being met. Then you would move into disappointment. And you hold on to this blame, you hold on to disappointment, you hold on to hurt, and then you become very hard-hearted. Your consciousness is not open to love, and then when you see the person, you only see that person as being a negative person. Right? You are not able to see the entirety of that person. You hold on to probably the disappointment that you faced, and you see that person only through the glass of disappointment, and that complicates the relationship even more.
But that itself, what we're saying, is actually a reflection of what is missing and what is lacking in oneself, in a sense, sometimes. Because I think when you say, when you talk about that sort of inner transformation that is also required and perhaps one should be aware of, and we're talking about something external like a relationship, how much of being at peace with yourself is important for you to do?
It is absolutely that you nourish a beautiful state in consciousness. Because if you are an individual who's constantly fueling a stressful state or a suffering state, you can have the most beautiful things in life, but you do not have a state of consciousness that can relish and experience it. You have no idea how much the consciousness actually projects itself onto reality. The reality as we experience, though we believe we are logical beings, we are using all our brains together to make sure that we are seeing it right, we do not have a true perspective of reality. What we are seeing as reality is only from our state of consciousness.
Okay.
And it is absolutely important that we bring enough attention to that state of consciousness if you want to relish what you have in life.
Because you talked repeatedly about understanding oneself, and one thing I also want to understand is that one hears very often in this day and age, especially, that one has to really sort of love oneself. You have to sort of understand your inner consciousness. Without knowing any of that, you're not going to be able to give much to other people. How does one love oneself?
Loving oneself does not mean going for a massage and pampering one's body, or just going for a vacation and having a nice time. Loving oneself means actually being an individual free of conflict, and experiencing greater peace within oneself, who's not experiencing a lot of inner chatter and inner noise, where you're constantly torn between your desires, torn between your ideas, and torn between what you have to be and what you are. Because in that state of conflict, you can only perpetuate more conflict in life. If you are more peaceful, if you are at peace with your body, if you're at peace with your appearance, if you're at peace with yourself, with your past experiences, and even the current situation that you are in, you become an individual capable of loving oneself, and you become an individual capable of creating love in life.
Krishna, I want to start by asking you about the whole concept of love. How would you define what love is, or I guess what love is not? Because one is just trying to find out what we should go with.
So love is a very important emotion. Love is very, very important for every relationship, especially in a couple's relationship. Love is the foundation. Love is one of the most powerful states in a beautiful state. In a beautiful state, one of the most beautiful emotions you experience is love and connection.
We are living in an age where one gets to either hear more about separations and divorces, or maybe there are more of them happening. One of the points that has come up in conversations has been that people don't want to work on things in a relationship anymore. What is working on a relationship all about? And is it constant? Is it a constant?
To be very honest, I think we have to work on ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not working on a relationship, it's working on ourselves. We need to work on ourselves to live in a beautiful state. Once we can learn to live in a beautiful state, everything becomes natural, everything becomes very easy for us. The reason today we are constantly working on something is because we are not in a beautiful state. We are in a suffering state. We are all people. people who are in a state of anger, fear, anxiety, ambition, comparison, insecurity, loneliness. So these are the states that we are living most of our time. And from this state, we are trying to constantly fix the other. The husband is trying to fix the wife, wife is trying to fix the husband, husband and wife are trying to fix the kids. So you have to work on yourself. Once you work on yourself, there's nothing to fix. It's just to see the truth that there is no connection, the truth that there is no love. And then apply the teachings, go through a meditation process, go through various things to really learn to live in the powerful state. Once you live in the powerful state, everything is very easy. It's very easy. Once you learn to swim, it's water is your friend. As long as you don't know to swim, water is your enemy. In the same way as if you learn to live in a beautiful state, every relationship is only a friend. Everything is an easy cakewalk. Today we are living our lives without addressing our state, without addressing our inner world. Without addressing our inner world, we are addressing everything else. Even your husband or wife is only an external aspect of your world.
So, enduring relationships, in the sense, one seems to think that it was in the past that people had these, relationships, marriages, even lovers who were together for years and years and years. That seems to be a little more rare in this generation and even the generations after us. Could this whole concept that you're saying of really finding inner peace, inner understanding of oneself, is that really going to be the key to have enduring relationships?
It is going to be the key, absolutely, because if you look at the world is far more technologically advanced, it's far more comfortable, everything is definitely improving. When my grandfather was alive, he didn't even have a mobile phone, he didn't even know what was going in the world. But today, my daughter, who is 14 years old, 15 years old, she knows everything on the touch of a button. So definitely, the world is more advanced and there's a lot more comforts. The food is getting better. The vehicles you're traveling in is getting better. The clothes we're wearing is getting better. The movies we're watching is getting better. Everything is getting better. But if you look at the inner world, it's getting worse. We are becoming people who are not fulfilled. We are becoming people who are finding meaning. We're finding it hard to find meaning in everything we do. We're finding it hard to find meaning in the job we do, in the relationship we are.
You're not satisfied?
We're not satisfied. We're confused. We have total inner conflict. There's a lot of pain. And this pain is happening because we don't have a state. So we need to have an inner state. And that state is joy, peace, connection, and love. So we have to move inwards. We have to correct our inner world. We have to rectify this inner world. And we have to become connected people. And if we can become connected people, then this world will be a different place.
Krishna, thank you very much for this conversation.
After the break, Preetaji will lead us into meditation and help us to discover the power of the beautiful state. Maintaining the right balance in love and relationships is important. And with meditation, one can find that balance. With this meditation session, Preetaji will steer us to listen to our inner selves. She will help us better understand what it means to connect to our inner selves, to experience peace from within.
Let us do a very short meditation today. It is a heart-centered practice. Please close your eyes. Place your palms on your heart. Inhale and exhale exhale deep and slow. Feel as if you're breathing into your heart and breathing out of your heart. This breathing synchronizes your brain and your heart. Now think of one beautiful moment, a beautiful experience of connection that you've had in your life. An experience of love that has nourished your being. Immerse yourself in that experience. Fill your heart with that beautiful experience. Think of one person with whom you would like to share this experience of connection. And feel your heart and the other's heart being connected with rays of light. Bring a smile to your face and open your eyes. Do this heart-centered practice as many times as possible for this week. And this practice not only nourishes you, but it also impacts the other. Namaste.
We make right decisions when we are at peace with ourselves, and that is what this meditation would help us achieve. Finding ourselves and helping our loved ones or team members to achieve this peace is worth all the efforts. In the next segment, we will talk to some of the students of Preethaji and Krishnaji to understand how their life transformed after discovering the power of the beautiful state with Preethaji and Krishnaji. Welcome back to the power of the beautiful state with Preethaji and Krishnaji. Let's understand from these students of Preethaji and Krishnaji how this experience changed their lives.
My experience with Krishnaji and Preethaji go back for a couple of years. A couple of years ago, we started to learn the lessons from our academy, and in that lessons, the most important thing for me is to see how you can live in a beautiful state. And if you're not in a beautiful state, how you can easily come back into a beautiful state. And what happens if you are in a beautiful state and connect more to other people. And it really changed my life in different areas. It changed my relationships, it changed my business, it changed my health. The whole part of life has been changed by the lessons I learned.
They are amazing people. To be so humble in so real world, listening to Krishnaji talk about his experiences with his wife, with his child, with his business, you can relate to all those things. And being able to listen to that and get the learnings from that and apply it to your own life, your own way of thinking, it was very refreshing and gave you the ability to pick up messages in a very believable, real life manner.
If I think about relationships, it's somewhat has so much to do with connection you really experience. And the teachings we had from Buddhacy and Christianity made us realize that if you are really connected to each other, your relation is more connected and you can take it to another level. And because of the lessons we learned and the way our relationship developed, we decided to get married. And last year, we got married in India at the beach campus of our academy. And the ceremony was led by one of the teachers, and it was really amazing. So I can say that our relationship is really connected to the teachings of our academy.
Some aspects, like relationship, like my career, like my wealth, financial condition. I think when I learned from our academy, and there are lots of transforming in my life, in my close people, like my parents and my partner. In our relationship, we feel lots of life, lots of peace. It's like a new life, totally changed in my life.
Something about this teaching, it expands me. The way how I used to look at my family, my father and my sisters, the relationships I had with them, I used to have this entanglement, this love and hate, this inner struggle. I used to have this garage hold on to my father. I always thought that he was not there during my upbringing, and I had this love, hate, blame feeling towards him. But after my course, the OCBC level 3, something inside me has changed. The way I look at him now is that not that he loves me, he's a man that who doesn't speak much. Life is more than just you say it by words, but it's experience. I look at him now, it's full of love. I feel this connection with my father, and not just this, but once I connected with my father, and it just seems my relationship with my sisters and my friends, my partners, it changes for the better. Life is beautiful when we can bring true love into relationships that really matter to us. Life can be as lovely as one wants to make it. In our next episode of Power of the Beautiful State with Preetaji and Krishnaji,